What's up, everybody? This is David Branderhorst, and in this video we're going to talk about how to build an online course for maximum profit. Now, before we get started, if you can remember to hit that like and subscribe button so you can be notified of future content, we would greatly appreciate it. Now, building an online course is one of those things that we all know is a great way to make some extra income, and it's a great way to build your business. Because essentially you can go out and you can create your course one time, do all your content, film your videos, put your workbook together, whatever other materials you have pulled together for it, and then you can go out and literally sell it to as many people as you want. There's no limit. And every time someone else buys it, there's no extra work involved for you. I mean, it's just another person paying you for content that you've already created. Now, this is a great way to make some extra income and to build your business, but so many people struggle to get those sales, and they struggle to get people to want to buy. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about some of the reasons why people aren't building their courses the right way. And as a result, they're not getting people to say yes because it's just not positioned correctly. So today we're going to talk about 3 things that you can do to position your online course so that you can maximize your sales, that you're positioning your course so people are going to want to buy this. They're going to want to jump on and say, yes, I want that. That is something that I want to take advantage of. So I'm going to hop over to some slides here really quick, and we're going to go through what are those steps. So the first step involved is, are you solving a real problem? In other words, have your clients express their frustration with this issue? Now, this is something that, like, before you even create a course, before you even build a course, you need to be asking yourself this question. You need to know your prospects. You need to know what it is that they're struggling with, what pain points they have, and is the problem that you're solving in your course, is this problem that you're solving in your course, is this something that your customer base has expressed frustration with? Is this something that your customer base has said, I'm having a problem here, this is a real issue for me, this is a real problem? And as a result, they're expressing that desire. If not, if they've never said they're having issues, if they never said they're having problems, well, then maybe this really isn't an issue because they're not looking for a solution to this. Let me take you through an example here really quick. You could be creating a program for authors to sell their books to customers in the metaverse. Now, at first you might be thinking, well, authors are looking to sell your books, and you would be right. You would be correct in that authors are always looking to sell more copies of their book because they have a similar scenario. They've written the book once, it's been produced, it's been published, and now they just want to sell as many copies of that book as they can. But how many authors out there do you know that are saying, I'm trying to sell my book in the metaverse? I've never really heard any of them say that. And so if your angle and your marketing strategy is that you're trying to help authors sell in an area that they're not really even expressing an interest in selling in, they're not going to respond to you. Your audience is not going to say, yes, this is something that we want, because you're putting something out there that you're solving a problem that no one has declared that they're having. People want to sell their books in the traditional formats. They want to sell their books in stores. They want to sell their books online. They want to sell their books in book funnels. They're not expressing a desire to go into this complicated metaverse and sell books. So if that's your angle and your avenue for helping them sell books, you're solving a problem that simply doesn't exist in their minds, or at least not yet. Step number 2. Analyze the existing solutions and determine the gaps. So if we now have fully determined that this problem that we're dealing with, the problem that we're facing, is absolutely real, this is something that our authors are struggling with, this is something our customers are frustrated with, I've heard them, I know our customers, they're having issues right here with this problem, I know what they need, and I can provide a solution. Now we want to look at it and say, what options are they currently using to try to solve their solution. We need to look at that. And no matter what, we need to always realize that there are always solutions. And let me pop out of it here really quick, just a minute. Now, sometimes you may say, well, there are no other options out there for people. And I'm going to challenge you on that concept. Now, for example, you may be saying, let's take an example of maybe you're a chiropractor and you help people who are dealing with back pain. They're having issues and their clients are dealing with back pain, and you have them come in and you do a realignment and help get their spine realigned appropriately. And as a result, they have less back pain and they're in better shape and they can go on. And you may say, well, my only competitors are the other chiropractors in my area, the other people that are also performing the same service. And I would challenge that and say, no, that's not. Those are not your only competitors. What's also a competitor to you is YouTube. Because these people are going on YouTube and looking up stretching videos. Are there stretching videos that I can do to help my back pain? They are looking at heating pads. So they're going out and buying heating pads to put heating pads on their back to help alleviate the back pain. They're going out and buying Advil or ibuprofen or something like that to help alleviate the pain. There's all sorts of these different things out there that are alternate methods of them solving the problem. So you need to look at your issue. You need to look at the problem that your customer has expressed frustration with. The thing that they've said, yes, I'm having trouble here. And you need to say, how many different ways are there to solve this problem? And if you can't just limit it to people who are doing the exact same type of thing that you're doing. You need to go broader than that because they're trying a number of different things. So let's pop back over to the slides. Again, an example of doing this then is to look at the gaps that are in the other offers. So you want to look at those other options because you want to look at them and say, okay, what's wrong with those alternatives? And if you're a chiropractor, for example, in this situation, you may be looking at someone and say, yeah, you can take Advil or ibuprofen to help with the back pain today, but that doesn't solve your problem. You still have a disc that's out of alignment. You still have an issue here that's going to come back and cause you back pain again in the future. So you need to be able to know, again, stretching exercises are good, but it doesn't realign your back. You need to know what's wrong with those solutions. What is the gap in them? And it could just be something as simple as they're too expensive. And let's be honest, there are places that you can go to get a solution, but it is costly. It is very, very costly to get this fixed. So a lot of people will either just ignore the problem or deal with the problem and not fix it, or they'll try and, use some simpler, cheaper methods to just try and cobble their way through to get to a solution. Maybe the other options don't provide a lot of service. And so it's a very much a done by yourself type, a self-serve type environment where here's the information, this is how you do it, now do it yourself. And a lot of people, as a result, are very confused and lost, and they need some help. They don't know how to do this. You can issue a course on how to grow a business, but growing a business is a complex thing, especially if you're doing it online and you need somebody to help talk with you, help guide you, and help walk with you through the process so that you can guide them into a successful outcome. Or are they just using the wrong approach? Are there methods that they use to provide a solution? Are they ineffective? Are they not doing what needs to be done to get a solution? They're just wrong in the way they're doing it. You need to know that so that when you talk about the other options that the customer has for getting a solution, you can go down and say, nope, you don't want to go that path because that's not going to get you the help that you truly need, and this is why. Then the third step is, now that we know, yes, they definitely have this problem and they're frustrated with it. Yes, they have these alternatives that are not getting them what they need, and there's gaps and holes and problems with those solutions. Now we're going to present your offer in such a way, but we want to present it in such a way that you have showed that you have a unique system for getting them a solution. You have a special way that's going to make them sit and think, this is what I was waiting for. This is the answer. This is what I need. And there's 3 ways of doing this. So we're going to talk about that here really quick. First one is like, do you have a unique process? In other words, do you have a different way of getting a solution than what other people do? Do you get solutions different from how other people do it? And a great example of this was way back in the day when McDonald's first started their business, and they set up this thing called the Speedy system, because back then restaurants were very inefficient. They got out food, but it took a long time, and things were not, there was no fast anything when you went out and dined out. You could get your order wrong. There was just the systematic approach to getting food out wasn't there. So they created what they called a Speedy system, which invented now an entire industry of fast food. But their process and their system of doing that is what created their competitive advantage. They were doing something, and it took a few years for everyone else to catch up to them, but they were doing something that no one else was doing. They could get a result in a completely unique and different way. So the first question to ask yourself is, are you doing something totally different? Now, this is actually the least common way of creating a unique solution, but if you are doing something that no one else is doing, that's what you need to talk about when you communicate the value of your course. You need to show how you're going to show them in this course a way to get a solution that no one else is. Now, the second way of doing it is, do you emphasize certain things? Are there processes in your way of getting a solution that is different from everyone else? Now, this is a great way. There could be this process where you're taking people down this journey of how to get a solution. It may be you have a course on how to help people overcome trauma, and they may have, be suffering from a terrible, difficult event in their life. And you have this whole course and program laid out for them to go step by step as to how to heal, how to work through these things themselves, and how to get to a solution and to get to a healthy, free life again. Now, you may be emphasizing certain steps in that process. You may be sitting there going, yes, other people don't spend enough time working on this area of healing. They don't spend enough emphasis on this step, and as a result, they're not getting the same level of results that I do. Well, then that is your unique system. If you spend a lot more time on a certain step, and maybe other people do that step, but they just don't go as deep into it as you do, then that is your unique system. If you are spending a lot of time on it, if you're investing a lot more energy and effort into that step, and you know that you do that because that is the best way to get a solution for them, then that is your unique system. And you want to have people know that, so they know that is why they should get your product. That's why they should get your course, because you're getting a solution in a way by emphasizing certain things that you don't get otherwise. And then the last one is, have you branded your solution? Now, this is the most common way of doing it. If you may be saying, well, I really don't have a system and process that is, completely different like McDonald's. I'm not doing anything radically different from everyone else. And I emphasize certain things, but I don't necessarily have an advantage there where I'm doing something. Then the next best thing that you can do is brand your process. Call it the special ABC process that you have, and name it and brand it after the name of your brand, whatever it is. We take our customers through the XYZ process, and that is proprietary to what we do. And this is our special way of doing it. And through this process, you will do X, Y, and Z and get this, this, and this as a benefit. And that's how you can communicate the value. And then no one else can say they do your process, because that's been named and branded after your business, after either your name or your course or whatever it is that you created. That's how you can say it. And then no one else can say, well, the XYZ process that you have, you're the only one that does that. You're right, because I branded it that way. So these are important things to think about. These are important things to take into consideration. Because again, it's not just enough to put a course out there and say, okay, it's available for sale, people come buy it. No, what's important is you need to be able to communicate the value of your course and to be able to get people to see and understand that this is why you want to buy this course. This is the reason. This is my unique selling advantage here. This is the thing that you need to invest money in my course as opposed to someone else's, because I do things differently. And as a result of me doing things differently, I'm going to get a better result for you than you're going to get elsewhere. And that is truly the secret to how you build a course to really get a lot more sales. And then it's just a matter of getting the people who are the right type of prospects and the right type of leads to see your information, to see your training. If you're doing a webinar, you're doing a training series, to read your sales page and to look at it and to realize this is for me. This is the thing that I need. So again, this process I know can be a little bit of, sometimes you need a little bit of extra hand holding. You need a little bit of extra support. You want to be able to get feedback on developing all this. And if that's you, if you are sitting there saying, yeah, I know what you're saying, David, but I could really use some extra help. I could really use some extra support in figuring out how to develop all this. Then I want to tell you to go to designlaunchgrow.com. And we have a coaching program that is very economical. It's only $147 a month. You could join and stay as long as you want, but we will work with you side by side to develop all this for you, to help to answer your questions and get everything that you need to generate a solution. So if that's of interest to you, go check that out and learn more about that program, because I know that that would be everything that you would need to truly get the help to figure this out. And we, myself included, will sit right there with you and help you develop all this specifically for your course. So otherwise, I hope this video was helpful to you. As always, if you have questions, leave them in the comments section below. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.